it also is physically beautiful. And so one of the things I think that would be kind of neat, and Todd, I would love for you to kind of speak to this, is what was it like in terms of the editorial process? Because a lot of people don't know what it's like to work on cover designs and specs and thinking about in sheets and stuff like that. And this is clearly something that, you're passionate about and wanting to make sure that, the art is measuring up to the content. And so I would love to maybe hear from you a little bit in terms of the process of this book coming to be through the creation of the cover and some of the other, especially the artwork within the book itself, and how, after Todd's done speaking, if there's anything that he misses, I'd love to hear you fill in the gaps. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this book was an exciting one for art, for sure. And I think, Lexham, that we've done a lot of artsy sorts of things before this, particularly with Christian Essentials. I think that really upped the ante. There's one thing that I wish we would have done with that we didn't. But that'll just have to sit here in my heart and pain me. But one of the most exciting things about once you get a book in hardcover, there are a lot of other things that you can do. And there's something about a book in hardcover that conveys a different message. And I've been thinking a lot about that with books. When I look at certain books that I have, there is just something about a paperback book that it doesn't convey the same sort of seriousness. And it became clear that while reviewing Hal's manuscript, that this was a book that deserved to be hardcover. Part of, actually, here, let me pull this. This is the book I think about. So I'm a Luther studies guy. And at the end of writing my dissertation, I got this book. This book is over 100 years old. And you can tell it looks old. But I don't know, does it really look 100 years old to you? It doesn't quite to me. But, they put a lot of care. It's not a great title. But, really beautiful stuff, really nicely bound and put together. And this book got me thinking, I want Lexham books to be books like this. That in 100 years, somebody that knows nothing about us, nothing about our mission, that they just stumble upon one of these books and they're like, wow, this book is really well put together. There's something that I need now from this book. That this book it lasted this long and it should continue to last. And that was something that I'd like to see with Hal's book. I would like it to be something that in 100 years, when we're all gone and forgotten, that it's not a book that's forgotten. And Hal had already gotten a bit of the way there. He has a friend who does stained glass artistry. And so this gentleman, Jonathan Mayer, had done one. So there's 6 images that you see. There's 6 full spreads. No, it's 5 spreads. He had done a single agricultural one. And then once we contracted the book, we talked with Jonathan about getting the other 4 as well. That really, really brings something to it. It's totally superfluous, right? The book doesn't actually need it, but it's something that really lifts the feel. And it's not really describable, I guess. And this is our first book that we had designed end sheets on.
Yeah, for people not in publishing, these are end sheets. These are designed end sheets, which people who in publishing live for this sort of stuff. Even though for probably maybe a lot of readers, they're kind of like, oh, that's kind of neat, and they see it once and maybe forget about it. People in publishing are like, wow, look at the end sheets. But anyway, I'll let you keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, and again, it's something that it's totally superfluous. Like the book doesn't need designed end sheets. The purpose of it is just it's a piece of paper that holds the cover to the block of pages. But I think that there's a lesson in this, right? That when we start to just make things, the aesthetics don't matter. It's just, what's the purpose? There's something that's lost in that. There are all sorts of things that we think about, like in nature or in ourselves or in the world, that, strictly speaking, they're totally superfluous. Um, but there's something about that that's fitting in the way that I think with Christian faith, etc. This sort of abundance of stuff. Anyway, I'm digressing. But this was our first book with designed end sheets. Since we've done two others, the Theology of Benedict XVI, which was the first one with colored end sheets. And then one of my books that just fell on the ground was C.S. Lewis's Spirits in Bondage, which also has end sheets. And there's plans for other things with Hal that would have designed end sheets coming up.
Yeah, Hal, go ahead. I would love to, hear from.
Yeah, let me jump in here. Far be it from me to disagree with my illustrious editor, but I would certainly disagree that these design features are superfluous. I mean, what you see is what you get in this product. To me, it's of one piece. The substance of the argument of the book and the way it's presented is a comprehensive whole. And so I think it goes together very nicely. And it does say, I think, to the reader, this is important. Even the layout of the pages, which are creative, and I think they are contemporary in the best sense, but also classic in the best sense, says something. And so my argument here regarding pastoral work is that it's a craft, and it's something that we learn from previous generations and we take forward during our own lifetime and hand it on to those who come after us. And in a very real way, I think Lexham has done the same thing with this particular book. It's taken the best of the craftsmanship of constructing a book, learning from previous generations, and it's now ready to take this and hand it to those who come after us. So I think it's wonderful.